Hey, I'm Laura Harris Smith. Welcome to today's Daily Pin Code. I'm going to go back to the porch in a minute, but I just wanted you to see it is so beautiful out here and snowing and gorgeous and all of that. But you know what? I wanted to get back to our angel study because we've had so many stories sent in. I want to get into a couple that are really interesting. One of these comes from Donna, and she says, a few weeks back I was feeding under the bridge. She feeds homeless people, when a large black homeless man came up wanting to help us set up. He wanted to hand out plates and began putting his bare hands in them, which is a no-no. I had to tell him to stop, and the other homeless were about to die watching him. All I could think of was, Lord, please help me deal with him. I had to throw away the top few plates due to this. However, when it came time to pray, this man insisted on praying. Oh my goodness! He began to pray such blessings on the food and on the homeless. There was a total paradigm shift under the bridge, not the least of which was my thinking. This man was first in line to be fed and blessed everybody with each bite put on his plate. After we were done serving, I looked around and he was not there, and I haven't seen him since. And she goes out there quite regularly. I'm convinced it was an angel testing my heart. I cried out before God to help me never look at the outward appearance again. You never know when you're dealing with angels unaware. Okay, it's starting to get really dark out here. It's also starting to snow a little bit more. Oh, it's so pretty. But I want to read you this one story. It comes in from an old friend of mine. His name is Stephen Cheney. He's here in Tennessee. And this is a pretty powerful story, so I want you to stay with me. It was in the early 80s, which means he and I were in high school. He was riding with a friend, Gayton George. Hi, Gayton. And they were in his old white Ford pickup. Now, this story takes place, and here comes a truck right as I start telling this story. It goes like this. They used to pick up hitchhikers. Guys, what were you thinking? You're idiots. But they used to do this, and so they're riding down the road, and an opportunity arises to do that. So they pull over onto the gravel on the right side of the road, but Stephen noticed they didn't slow down. So, and I'll pick up and read from this point on, he said, I asked Gayton, what are you doing? That's when he advised me that the brakes weren't working. So we continued down the hill, and as Gayton pumped the brakes repeatedly until the street leveled off and he was able to pull it into an industrial park area. By this time, I figured that he must be walking by any time. When he didn't, I walked out to the street to find him, but he was nowhere to be found. I knew he hadn't been picked up because only a few cars had drove by, and they were going way too fast to have picked him up and reached that speed before passing us. It wasn't until later that I realized that hitchhiker saved our lives. It was all God. He showed his power in two ways, just to make sure we didn't try to explain it away. The first is that he cleared that busy intersection, which is always busy. Then secondly, by strategically placing an angel who looked a lot like a weather-beaten hitchhiker with long scraggly hair at the right place just past the intersection so that we could pick him up. So basically, you know, what he's saying is they were going to pick up a hitchhiker, they went to try to stop, and the brakes didn't work. But had they not done it right at that intersection, and hey, the intersection was clear too, but had it not happened right there, and had they not tried, they wouldn't have had that little place to go off into, and they somehow got off into it safely, looked around, and the angel was gone. So yeah, God showed up supernaturally and naturally. I love that, when God puts his super to our natural. Isn't that bird beautiful? Kara Littman, a friend, she wrote in and said the same thing, that she was being yelled at by a homeless man last week asking her for things, and she passed him by, and she's like, I wonder if maybe I shouldn't have. Maybe we were entertaining angels unaware. I love that verse. Okay, that and all of today's other stories really make me want to leave you with this verse, Hebrews 13:2. And it says, do not forget to entertain strangers, for by doing so, some people have entertained angels without knowing it. Ain't it the truth? All right, I am freezing, so I'm going inside. I must really love you guys. All right, I'm Laura Harris Smith. I will see you tomorrow on today's Daily Pin Code.